Could Chad Gable win the King of the Ring? At least make the King of the Ring finals? Is WWE ready, willing, and Gable to push Chad Gable? It's a very interesting question. You know, Chad Gable had a lot of hype when he was signed by NXT. A lot of people were excited about the signing of Chad Gable because they saw a guy who's on the smaller frame, Olympic level wrestler, and people automatically compared him to Kurt Angle, which is completely unfair. But then when you actually saw Chad Gable wrestle, it was all like, oh, maybe those comparisons are not too far off. I mean, for being an Olympic level wrestler, he was very, very, very good from the start. Not to mention, pretty charismatic. Like, a lot of people, what they sleep on when they look at Chad Gable and Chad Gable's career, they always think Chad Gable is just another vanilla midget, where they just go like, oh, dude, what more does he have than just being an in-ring wrestler? Well, early NXT days when he was with Jason Jordan, he actually got Jason Jordan to show personality. Before Jason Jordan was with American Alpha, he was just a boring dude. He didn't really do anything. Like, maybe he stuck his tongue out every once in a while. But once Chad Gable come, you got some funny skits between him and Chad Gable. Chad Gable trying to train and be his partner. Good stuff from Chad Gable. Chad Gable is actually a charismatic guy. It's just the WWE, for whatever reason, they just couldn't figure out Chad Gable. They wanted to put him on the main roster, and every time Chad Gable will have that one match or that one opportunity where it's like, oh, wow, that's Chad Gable right there. That guy is really good. And then other times, it's just like WWE just completely forgets about him. And this King of the Ring, I'm glad that Chad Gable is getting the opportunity to show off what he can do inside the ring. Now, we know Chad Gable's a good wrestler, but I feel like Chad Gable, if he does win the King of the Ring, or at least make the King of the Ring finals, this could be the necessary push that WWE needs for this guy. Look, do I think Chad Gable is some megastar? No. Do I think he could be a good hand for the company? Absolutely. I feel like for his size, especially the way that he wrestles, it's much more different than guys his size. Most guys his size are all doing 630 flips, doing tope suicidas, doing all that stuff. Seeing Chad Gable be a more grounded wrestler, being a more technical-based wrestler with all the suplexes that he does and just the different Greco-style Roman wrestling that he does, it's much more it's much more refreshing. It's much more different to see a grounded 5'8" dude. And it's fine for a guy to be 5'8" and be dominant. Everyone acts like you can't be 5'8" in any type of sport and be dominant. Look at the MMA. Some of the best fighters in the world today are like 5'9" and under. Only John Jones and Stipe Miocic and Daniel Cormier. And Daniel Cormier is 5'11" and he fights against 6'4" dudes all the time. So I don't want to hear like, oh, well, he's too small. But because here's the thing. Technique beats power any day of the week. And Chad Gable, you can play that storyline. People forget that Kurt Angle is like 5'10". Like, everyone likes to act like Kurt Angle's some 6 foot tall monster. No, he's like only 5'10". Kurt Angle is only 5'10", and he did what he did in the WWE. And I feel like Chad Gable has that ability, but it's just up to the WWE. I wonder, is WWE going to give him that opportunity and put him in the King of the Ring finals, if not win the King of the Ring? Because when I look at the King of the Ring bracket and everything, I say to myself, okay, does Baron Corbin need it? Not really. Does Elias need it? Not really. Does Ricochet need it? Not really. Does Samoa Joe need it? Not really. Because when I look at those guys, Baron Corbin, we know he's going to be featured on TV no matter what. WWE loves featuring him on TV. Elias is pretty much aligned with Shane McMahon, and he always has a big segment, and he's always used to like feud with legends or do something with legends, so WWE likes him. Ricochet, we all know he does flips and people like him. Paul Heyman likes him, and that's why he's getting the push. So we know he's going to go for mid-card titles, maybe get a random one-off Universal title match down the line. So he's fine. Samoa Joe, he's Samoa Joe. You know, at this point in time, giving him King of the Ring doesn't really do anything for his career. But Chad Gable, this could help his career. Or heck, even being in the finals. And I know everyone's going to just be disgusted when I say this, but just him being in the finals and losing to like a Joe or a Ricochet or even a Corbin, that could help. And especially if it's Corbin, because the crowd will be really hot behind Gable. People are going to be more invested in the match. Corbin, I know I'm going to get hate for saying this in this portion of the video, is not that bad in the ring. And especially if you have a match with Gable where the crowd, especially that's going to be in the middle of the night at Clash of Champions, where really there's only like probably 2 or 3 matches people are invested in, you're going to have it where people are going to be super invested in this match, especially when it gets down to the last 5 minutes when all the false finishes happen and the ways that Corbin can try to hit the end of days on Gable and Gable try to reverse it. those kind of showings help too. Not every effort of winning is always the best thing. I always use the Chris Benoit example from Benoit at Royal Rumble 3. Yeah, he didn't win the WWE Championship. Should he have won the WWE Championship at the time? You could make a debate and you can make an argument that maybe Benoit being the WWE Champion for just like a month before No Way Out would have been fine. But also, you could just look at it and say, wow, in that losing effort, he looked phenomenal. And sometimes in those losing efforts, you sit there and you say to yourself, that's what makes a superstar. Because really, to be honest, winning, yeah, anyone can win. Anyone can look good when they win. That's easy. But tell me how you can look good when you lose. Tell me how the effort is when you lose. Because one of the big trademarks for DIY when they were going on the rise for the NXT tag titles was the fact they always lost. But every time they lost, they still wowed and kept the fans informed. I'm not saying Chad Gable needs to lose every big match. No, that gets boring. That gets repetitive. See Johnny Gargano. It got annoying that every big match on NXT TakeOver, he would flip and lose. It was like, dude, can the guy actually just win a match? It's hard to take him credible anymore. But with Chad Gable, you put him in a big match with Corbin, who has been in plenty of big matches, actually has a good connection with Chad Gable in a sense inside the ring because some of their NXT work you can see. I feel like that this is something that could actually turn out pretty good. And I feel like Chad Gable, the WWE should put him in the finals. And I feel like it's a chance for them to finally get a mid-card guy that actually has some personality and heck, could maybe break out for them. Knowing me, I probably wasted time talking about this because WWE is just going to throw it to the corner. But I was excited to see that Chad Gable and Andrade match. It was probably one of my favorite TV matches that wasn't an hour-long gauntlet match in quite some time. What do you guys think about Chad Gable? Should he get a push? Should he get an opportunity? Is he just boring for you? Just let me know in the comment section down below. If you guys haven't already, just follow me on Twitter at ChaseOliver68. If you guys like the video, a thumbs up always helps, and also subscribe button. That always helps the channel as well. Thank you all for watching. Remember, guys, just like our former Universal Champion Brock Lesnar, sometimes you don't have to give a shit in life. And yo.